talking through HomeKeep with you. Thanks for joining.
Awesome. Okay, so I think that this was kind of the, and everybody can see my screen okay, I think, hopefully. All right. So this was, what we were hoping to take everyone through today, quick just intros to who is Avid Ratings, who is HomeKeep, do a kind of an overview background of HomeKeep, a quick demo of, kind of the experience, both what a homeowner experience is and then also what a maintenance professional experience is, and then really spend a good amount of time talking about kind of a business model discussion and partnership interest. I think what you're going to see when we present HomeKeep is that it's definitely a consumer experience for homeowners, but we think that there's a really interesting model for remodelers and the like to offer HomeKeep and provide services around it that really create a recurring revenue stream for your organizations, and then also really become top of mind for when these homeowners are thinking about other bigger projects that they want to look at. So just a quick background on who we are as a company. The parent company's name is Avid Ratings. We're a technology company that's exclusive to the home building industry. We have hundreds of home builders as customers, many hundreds when you start looking at large home builders, big, kind of more, home builders with multiple divisions and such. We collect ratings and reviews and measure and improve the customer experience for builders. So tens of millions, per year that we're collecting. We actually have the majority of top builders in the nation and in Canada are customers of ours. So we're talking, really large builders, the top, kind of 10 builders, many of those, and then kind of all the way down to builders that are, 50 to 75 kind of annual homes that they construct each year. So I want to lay that out because I want to talk a little bit about kind of why we built HomeKeep originally, thinking about it more as, our relationships with our builder customers and more that we could bring to them. And then naturally how that, kind of extends to other markets like this one. So the two products that we have and are focused on, one is Avid CX, which is really identifying areas for operational improvement, for these builders and, helping them kind of, measure their customer success and their customer experience, and then figuring out, where they can, get better. And then we built this product HomeKeep, which is really a bit more of, kind of a post-construction and occupancy, solution for the homeowners, which clearly helps builders as well, because builders, really don't want to spend time, in the homes kind of after they're constructed. So I'll shift gears and I just want to talk, specifically about HomeKeep. I'm going to give this background of kind of, what it is and what the model is. And as I mentioned, this is all going to lead into kind of a discussion around where we think a potential opportunity exists with remodelers and, other potential folks. So this was the problem that, we're really trying to solve is, when in the new construction world where we spend a lot of our time with home builders, the service experience drops precipitously post occupancy. We have millions and millions of data points where we've looked at kind of the experience that a homeowner goes through as they're constructing a new home. And then as soon as they move in, it's not very fun. And it's, you can see here that, the average decline in how they rate their overall service experience drops by almost 11 percentage points. So really the problem is that, new construction home buyers, the most negative experience is really around post-possession kind of information, the services that they're getting, any support around warranty. Home builders know that this problem exists, but they want to focus on new homes. That's where they really make their money. And then homeowners are left with, it's likely the most expensive purchase they've ever made, and they lack a lot of knowledge around, how they're supposed to operate their home, the products in their home, how they maintain their home, et cetera. And homeowners really need help. 60% of homeowners don't regularly maintain their home. 42% of them feel embarrassed by their lack of home maintenance knowledge. And 33% of new homeowners cite dissatisfaction with their builder during the warranty phase of ownership. So that kind of first year of, occupancy on a new construction home. So we built this product called HomeKeep. So HomeKeep is really a solution that helps improve the post-move-in experience for home builders and home buyers. And there's really four kind of main buckets to it. One is we digitize home information. So I like to tell people that, if you're familiar with walking into a home and seeing a junk drawer of, your owner's manuals and warranty cards, imagine all of that being in a digital application. So being able to quickly find, information on the products, the features of the home, pulling up your paint colors for every room, your key contacts, or the subcontractors you use, stuff like that. Then we help them manage their home products, which we register the products so they're under warranty with the manufacturers. Allow you to quickly find serial numbers, model numbers. We notify people if there's any issues with those products. Third, in kind of the meatiest areas, we help with just home maintenance and education. So we configure a maintenance program for that home of everything they really need to do to properly maintain their home. We've got great reminders and checklists and tutorials, and then we even have a full service option where we can send a maintenance professional out for 2 appointments per year to do everything that needs to be covered. And then the last piece is just kind of the general, warranty services support. So we, help them understand their home warranty, are there for any, kind of support needs that they have. So we like to talk about it that it's more than just an app. So when we think about the product, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in kind of communicating with a homeowner about everything they need to do. So, we have a mobile app for, iOS and Android. We have a web experience as well. We send out, all kinds of emails, newsletters, tips, tutorials, SMS, app notifications, all of that is constantly kind of in front of a homeowner and teaching them about home ownership and how to properly maintain things. So again, I'm coming at this from this is, how we kind of typically talk to our builders about it. But again, we think that there's a play here for remodelers as well. But for builders, and the reason they love it is it, reduces their warranty and customer care workloads, and then creates, great brand advocates. So for the builders, they're providing this increased level of homeowner education, they're providing, warranty support, and they're just creating a better customer experience. So we sell this kind of digital platform for $20 a home. And it includes, all of this stuff that, helps a builder, but also, is a lot of capabilities, for the homeowner itself. So the packages, that we sell, the $20 is for this digital solution, which is, everything you need in a, pocket device to kind of manage everything around your home. So it's everything that I talked about already with, home information, product details, having the products registered with manufacturers, having a prescriptive kind of home maintenance program, et cetera. But a couple of other options that we developed, the second package is what we call HomeKeep Delivery, which is really a simple way where we tell the homeowner they can do it all themselves, but we're going to deliver all of your consumable product, to your doorstep. So think of water softener, salt, furnace filters, freshness filters, your refrigerator, et cetera. And then the third one, which is where we really want to spend the most time talking to you folks about, is what we call full service. We have a bunch of builders that currently pay for this for their homeowners. And they're paying, somewhere between $700 and $1,200 for, really large homes. And this is a digital experience plus 2 appointments per year where we come in and do kind of 10, key bundled services. Makes it really easy for a homeowner to kind of schedule those appointments and remind them of those appointments. And then the maintenance professionals come in and do these 2 appointments that are usually about 3 hours a piece, and takes care of everything that home needs on an annual basis. So what we feel like, the opportunity that exists with remodelers, and what we were, excited to kind of just explore with you all is, to see if there's an opportunity here around creating a revenue stream, a new revenue stream, for home maintenance subscriptions and, staying top of mind for bigger projects. So the 4 things we kind of came up with that we think are interesting value props is, one is, this new recurring revenue stream by providing and, promoting this proven program for full service maintenance appointments that we've done time and time again. 2 is, offering a valuable experience with no investment. So, all the technology, the coordination, the scheduling of appointments, the app notifications, the emails, and all of that is done by HomeKeep. And, a remodeler or another maintenance professional just needs to show up, do the 2 appointments, and make the money. 3 is, driving larger remodeling projects through customer loyalty. In all of the homes that we're in today, they continue to tell our maintenance professionals, you are my trusted resource, and you're the person I want to go to when I think of anything else I need for my home. And so we think, staying kind of top of mind like that could be very interesting. And then lastly, it's just differentiation of your brand, and a great service and, different kind of customer experience that, hopefully provides a bit of a competitive advantage. So real quick, we want to take you guys through just demos of, what really two things here. One is, what this looks like from a homeowner experience. We'll just touch on that. And then secondly, what it looks like for our maintenance professionals who are going out and doing these appointments. So Laura, do you want to take over the screen and share these?
Yeah, if you could just take the slides on, there we go, then I will connect. I tell you, it is pouring rain in Madison, Wisconsin right now, and I think all of the geese in the city just left because they are quite noisy. Okay, it's taking a moment here to pull up my, okay, we're gonna go into plan B here. We're gonna show a different screen. Always gotta have plan B. So here we go. As Erin mentioned, the full service opportunity we have for homeowners and that we're looking to discuss with you today has a consumer facing side. So what I want to show to you today is what it looks like for the homeowner when they're looking to get maintenance done for them. So they're able to log into their account and then manage their appointments. So we have 2 appointments seasonally each year. They're generally geared towards when you shift in and you want your furnace taken care of, or it starts to get warmer outside, you want your air conditioner taken care of. So we really try to tailor our tasks around what makes sense for the seasons, and always strictly upholding the manufacturer's recommendations for routine maintenance on the mechanicals and the appliances in a home. So this first dashboard page is where the homeowner can manage their appointment. They can easily pick a time for, they're about 3-hour maintenance appointments that we have. And they can also check on the history and see, what was it back in January that we identified as an issue? And this one looks pretty clean. So they can look back in the history and understand what's been maintained on a regular basis. They can also keep their contacts nice and tidy here. We loaded HomeKeep Concierge and a few others that might make sense. But if they have contact with you, we can load them in here and have them right at their fingertips to email, call, just reference. One thing that happens in these appointments is that we make sure we're taking inventory of all those appliances and mechanicals. So understanding not just that they have a furnace, but what the manufacturer's name is, what model it is, what size filter that they're going to need. So here you're seeing a quick look at the inventory, the collection of that information that can be added on to over time. There is easy access through these to manuals for each one of them. So if there's a question, maybe there's an error code on the dishwasher, they need to look that up in the manual. They can go right into their HomeKeep app and look that up. And you can upload other things too, maybe a floor plan for the remodeling to get that updated information in there, and other documents as well. And then they can manage their account. If they want to change their name, maybe update their subscription a little bit as well. So that's a quick peek at what a full service account looks like for the homeowner. Again, they can manage their appointments through here, 2 a year generally, about 3 hours depending on the size of the home, going through from top to bottom, which is what I'd like to show you next. So this now is our maintenance application, and I do apologize, we're on plan B, so it's a video and not live from my tablet, but I did just record it this morning, as you can see from the date. So our field specialists who are out in the field going into the homes, they use this application to record those manufacturer model, all those details for us, and then go through a very specific checklist. So what this is showing you here is the field specialist is logging in, they're seeing the appointment for today, and here's the list by category. So generally we're trying to start in the lower level where the mechanicals are, and then we work our way up and out to make it a nice flow. So heating and cooling, we're looking at the furnace, changing out that filter, and we have step-by-step instructions that are used for this. As you can see here, there's also an opportunity to add a tag. Maybe there was an issue found, or just something that needs to be monitored over the next 4 to 6 months until we come back. It could be the homeowner to monitor it, or it could be the field specialist to come back, check on corrosion and things like that. So we're able to add notes to that and tags, and then you go through all the steps, and as you're checking them off, they turn green so that you're making it through the checklist. You can also add in some notes here, some internal notes. I had one earlier. It was like, they have a dog, friendly, but a jumper, things like that, that might be helpful to know before you go into somebody's home, or if they work from home and they want to make sure that you stay out of the office where they're working on video calls, things like that. So here's where you can add some notes about that to remember the next time that you're back. Overall, the application really walks you through step by step what to do and how to do it, and then checks it off as you get through it, so you can see where your status is at. It's pretty simple. There's a history too, so you can go back and see a past appointment if you need to reference it, things like that. So we try to make it easy. It's maintenance is so important, and we work very closely with those in the field to make sure that this is meeting their flow and working for them. Any questions on, I went through that pretty quick. Any questions on the homeowner facing side of it, that experience of managing accounts, booking appointments, or even from the professional side of what goes into it? It was a quick overview. Very good. I'd love to answer questions as they come up. Feel free to jump in. Otherwise, I'll turn it back over to Aaron to get us going on a discussion.
Yeah, so thanks, Laura. So just to reiterate real quick before we kind of fire away with some questions for you all is, we have a proven kind of program for providing ongoing maintenance appointments that, create a recurring revenue stream opportunity for maintenance professionals or remodelers or whomever that would like to do them. These appointments are not difficult. They are, really things that if somebody was a handy person and was knowledgeable enough and trained enough and had the time to do it, any homeowner could do it themselves, right? So, the theory here again is, you guys could offer HomeKeep in your business and have a recurring revenue stream of, call it $700-800 per home each year, and it would be 2 appointments to do them, and then all of the maintenance application, the set of tasks, the way that it's communicated to the homeowner app experience, and all of that is just powered by our technology. So I'll share my screen again in a few questions that we were hoping to ask you all, and I think it starts with do you see value in offering a subscription-based recurring revenue model for ongoing home maintenance? Any questions or comments on that or responses
I
from the
can
group?
answer.
Yeah.
I can share with you. I worked for a home builder for, a custom remodeler that had every once in a while a few ground up projects. But they were exploring building and developing an app that did some of this for our client base. Obviously cost prohibitive. So I would say that the demand is certainly there, given the fact that they had already thought of doing this because it services. I mean, we didn't fix hot water heaters, but we would always get a call about fixing a hot water heater. So if we could connect and give that client an answer or have a holistic place where those things were held for them, and the people that maybe did our plumbing that plumbed out would be in there for them. So it's like, again, this holistic digital folder of everything that's in the home. We found there was a great value. And then the other thing that I personally saw, having a real estate background, a great value for this is that a lot of times when you sell homes, you don't always know what's there. As far as being the buyer, or sometimes the seller forgets something that they did and it comes up on the home inspection, and they can't remember who serviced it, et cetera. So I think that there is a great place for the consumer in the marketplace. But again, if you're the builder or remodeler offering this, there's a huge benefit from a loyalty standpoint. And like you said, building that solutions oriented approach with your client and giving them this. So I see a lot of value. And again, like I said, it's been something that your software has not come up, but the ideas and the concepts you've presented here have come up with many teams and work groups that I've been in before. So I'm excited to see it personally.
Those are great comments. Thanks, Mara. A couple of kind of thoughts on that I have. One is we're definitely not the first company to have thought of, kind of home organization and maintenance as a as a, technology and service. I think what we've seen, though, is that, the companies that are trying to do it are local, right? Like you'll have a company in a certain part of the nation that's trying to do it, and they come to that same roadblock that you highlighted, which is like, well, are we going to go invest millions of dollars in building out an application and all the surrounding capabilities? And so nobody's really done it on this kind of national scale. And I think that's kind of unique to us. And then the second piece, which you hit on as well, is, you talk about kind of how do you take this to market, and who's this, of value to, and clearly it's a value to homeowners, right? Because homeowners feel like, wow, I'm now finally, maintaining this huge asset that I own. But we've initially found it's huge value to builders for the points that you highlighted, right? It shifts so much more of the, kind of home maintenance to somebody else, so builders can go on and build new homes. We've actually had, you mentioned realtors. We've had a bunch of realtors who have purchased HomeKeep for their customers and or referred their customers. In the builder side, we've had builders as small as 20 homes a year up to thousands of homes a year that are providing this to their homeowners. And so we think there's just such a really interesting opportunity in a lot of those markets. And I think what our theory that we have behind the remodeler space is remodelers could, or in my understanding is it's very project based. And one of the challenges is, having that relationship with the customer where you're always in front of them and you're always providing something, so that when they do think of the kitchen remodel or whatever, they're going to you. And we think offering HomeKeep and providing those services and making a bunch of money while doing it is, potentially the way to go.
Yeah, no, I think your UX is really nice, just from a consumer experience. It's clean, it's easy to understand and follow. So again, them adopting it, wanting to use it, staying connected to the software, therefore connected to their remodeler or their service and support team. But also, I also know that we would have people 5 years later, one tile would crack and they couldn't remember what tile they used, and could we find a match? And the paint color, there's just so many things that happen that you don't think about until it's 5 years later. And then if you're most builders in the area, remodelers, you've been in the business 10 or 15 years, you can't find the paper file that you had 10 or 15 years ago. So I think going forward, you can't do anything about that, but it certainly solves for that legacy, that client legacy that you have, and continuing that relationship to have the answers. So just again, from a client services and a loyalty standpoint, I think it's a very good hit for remodelers in this area. Well, nationally, as you said.
Yeah, I mean, you really hit hard on, I think, one of the pieces, right, which is that, home organization and just referencing those materials and all of that. I think Jenya's nodding her head as she knows that world. I think the other piece that, maybe, we didn't touch on, real strongly is just like, what does home maintenance really mean? And, Laura was kind of scrolling through real quickly about the things that happen in a full service appointment. And I'll ask you guys, I mean, presumably as homeowners, when we're talking about home maintenance and what happens at these appointments, these are things like, we not only change your furnace filters and change your refrigerator filters, but we also clean your condensers on your, appliances. We clean the condenser on your air conditioning unit. We lubricate your garage door rails. We clean out your dryer vents. We flush your hot water heater. We remove sediment. We clean your dishwasher filter. And I'd love to ask all of you guys, do you do all of that for your homes? I've never met one person that does. And every time we talk to a homeowner and they hear all of that, they're very overwhelmed. And boy, would they love to hire somebody to come in and do 2 appointments a year to do all of it.
I think I was really good at always telling people. That's what home inspectors say, that you should do all of those things. So I was always great at telling people they should do those things.
Yep.
I've never done my air filters. That's about it. We actually do have a question from Lee in the chat. And he said, who is inputting the information needed into the app? Does this apply to existing items in the house, or is this strictly for new items or remodels?
So I think, Laura, did you want to answer that, or do you want me to?
Go for it.
So, what happens typically is that first appointment that's being done by a maintenance professional, they're kind of go in the full service model, they're going through and entering all of that. It takes maybe 15-20 minutes to catalog a home, because all it is scan this label. Like we have very clear instructions. Go to the furnace, get a label of, picture of the label of the manufacturer, the model number, et cetera. And then we take care of the rest and put all the product information and all the details, the owner's manual and everything in the application. So it's a very quick 20-minute, kind of run through. And then in subsequent maintenance appointments, if there is a different product or something that's new or changed, you just sort of note, oh, it's a new refrigerator that they put in, here's that. So it's quick and easy. And then we kind of fill in the details.
So what would be the next steps if we have, knowing that we recorded this and we're going to continue to circulate with our membership, what would be the next steps for a remodeler member that's maybe interested in pursuing this opportunity as a benefit to their clients? How would we?
Yeah, I think, we would love to have further discussion and explore this. And again, we don't work with any remodelers today. And I, our hope is that you guys see this as a revenue stream and something that you want to offer. And obviously we know it's valuable to homeowners because we have tons of homeowners that are using it today. But if it's something of interest to your business, I would encourage you guys to, reach out to, me, Laura, Kyle, and we'd love to have a, one-to-one conversation and talk about, the finer details. And so Mara, maybe one of the things we could do is just share our contact information after the webinar and provide that for anybody that wants to talk further.
Absolutely. I mean, I think a nice little work group. I mean, I think the webinar has been really great as an overview, but maybe even a work group with some of our top remodelers here in the area, or the ones that kind of see the value in it and understand best about how we can position it for remodelers as well as their customers. Obviously, it's a great resource.
Yeah, Mara, I don't know who asked that last question, but I see Steven's got a hand up. So is that?
I didn't. Yep, I don't. It's taking a minute for it to refresh on my side. Do you see the question?
No, I have a.
If you see it, feel free to answer it.
Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. There you are, Stephen.
Aaron, can I speak? Is it okay?
You can, Stephen. We hear you.
Okay, great. I have a question. So I came in late, didn't have a password, but got one from Angela. So we do home maintenance now as a remodeler. We do custom home maintenance for individual clients. So we go in 4 times a year. And I love the idea of documenting all the manufacturers, filter sizes, all the different things that you say this app does or this program does. I don't know anything about it because I missed the first 15 minutes. So if one of you all could reach out to me, I'd love to have a conversation to see what it costs, how we could maybe utilize this with we use Builder Trend to do ours and we keep all the information in there, but maybe yours is a better product and it might work better for us, and let us expand the 10 people we do now to maybe a larger group.
Yeah, we'd love that opportunity, Stephen. If we, we'll get your contact information, follow back up, and we'd love to have a one-to-one conversation. We can take you through, any parts that you missed. I think the short version is, we have a small, kind of technology fee associated with, providing the homeowner experience and all of the communication and back and forth. And I'm familiar with Builder Trend, and I think what you're going to find is that Builder Trend is probably a decent solution for you all and your staff to kind of keep track of everything. And we have that as well, but we have a much better, homeowner experience and kind of what they're seeing and how they're booking appointments and how they're seeing history and, all of that kind of stuff. And, it's really, this is for us, it's about gaining, more customers and gaining a small technology fee. And, I'm pretty confident that whatever, you're charging and doing those appointments for today, you'll be able to maintain that amount of revenue. I will also say we started at 4 appointments per year, and we've done consumer research with customers and others for thousands and thousands of homeowners, and 4 appointments is not the way to go. 2 appointments is the way to go. And we're happy to talk about why that is too, but I think we'll follow up with you directly.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Any other questions? Aaron, your team, anything from your team that you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only other thing is I kind of think through the questions that are on this screen here. You know, if there's anything else from the group as you kind of see this and think about this, you know, we spent a lot of time kind of on the first one of, you know, do you find value, you know, in this, and generally speaking, but if, and I think Stephen's questions maybe are starting to get into some of the other ones, but if there's, you know, anything else from the group on kind of what you see as pros and cons, and, you know, if there's anything else that you'd rather see, you know, in the application, or, you know, stuff like that, we'd love to know any other feedback that you guys have.
Are the accounts transferable? So if I do have my house at 101 South Maple and I'm selling it, and the only home that exists in that property, in my account, could I transfer that to the buyer?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and this is where a lot of the vision of this was coming from originally, right? Is like, we think of, you know, you can relate this to the auto industry pretty easily and say, you know, why is it that we have regular ongoing, you know, maintenance for a car that is a fraction of the cost of, you know, a home that, you know, really requires, you know, a lot of maintenance as well. And you know, we think about this a lot as like sort of the Carfax for the home, and, you know, and including not only all of the home information, but all of the maintenance history and everything else. And I think it's a huge selling point is, you know, when you go buy a new home today in the resale market, you know, it's not like you get any sort of understanding outside of an inspection of whether or not they've been taking care of the major, you know, mechanical systems and appliances. And I would certainly feel much better if somebody could provide me a home history report and say, look, here's every time my condensers have been cleaned, my water heater's been flushed, my softener brine tank has been cleaned, my HVAC systems have been maintained, and say, and by the way, you can, you know, kind of, we're going to transfer that history to you as you're taking on ownership. So absolutely.
And is there, and I'm sorry if I missed this when you were doing your demo, is there a direct scheduling option
Yep.
in that, so that I can, so there was that, and I, again, I apologize, I had to step out of the room for a moment.
No.
So that was my only other question, is they can schedule directly through the app with the provider.
Yep, and not only that,
Perfect.
but it, you know, we send the reminders and the, you know, all the things to tell them, hey, it's time for your kind of, you know, fall maintenance appointment, and, you know, book it now, and here's different time slots. And Laura was showing too, even added notes, you know, if you need to give somebody a garage code or tell them there's a vicious dog to stay away from or whatever, there's, you know, those things can all be done as well.
Is that a reverse logic as well, to touch on what Stephen was saying? And I know like he said, he joined the call a little late. Can he also then set up his own schedule and push it out to the customer? So if the customer doesn't request the schedule, he just said he has these 4 maintenance solutions throughout the year. Can he automatically schedule those for the year and push that out to the customer through the app?
Yeah, and Laura can probably speak to this in more detail, but we have a network of maintenance professionals, some of which are direct hires of HomeKeep, and some of which aren't. And even in the ones that aren't, you know, we connect with their schedule to be able to only offer up the times and days that their schedule allows.
Nice.
Pretty easily managed from both the professional and then from our back end too, and we can adjust. We adjust for holidays, things like that, and we have certain rules in place to prevent somebody from scheduling like this afternoon and expecting you to have the right fridge filters in hand. So yeah, we try to make it as easy as possible for everyone, the homeowner to get their appointment at the right time, and the professional to make sure that they're available.
Great. I don't have any other questions. I don't see anything else in the chat.
I don't have any questions. I just wanted to say, from a professional organizer view, I think that's a very valuable app or whatever. I'm looking forward to test it out on my home probably first, because I have to, you know, understand what I'm offering to the clients. But that's a huge thing, because a lot of clients, as you mentioned before, they're just keeping tons of old, I don't know, paint and different pieces of manuals, furniture, stuff like that, and it's great to have it somewhere together. And then B, I work with a couple of Airbnb owners, and I think that could be beneficial to them as well. Because
that makes sense.
That's definitely something.
Great,
you know, there is a one owner, he has 4 Airbnbs right now, and it's impossible to remember everything that they have. So definitely looking forward to work with you guys.
Yeah. No, that's
That
a
makes
great
a lot of
point.
sense.
We've had a couple of builders that, you know, kind of build and construct, you know, communities that of snowbirds, right? Of people that travel and maybe own other homes, and it's been huge for them. So there's definitely a huge opportunity with rentals, and we have build to rent builders that have done this too, or, you know, people that are otherwise not in their home all the time and want it properly maintained.
Yeah, and a
I
lot
would
of
imagine
times
even
just
managing the models.
mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jay. I was just saying that managing the models when you've got larger builders that have 7 or 8 different models, paint schemes, everything like that, and people buy the
Yeah.
models a lot of times, but they don't necessarily move in at that time. 3 years later, when there's build out, they move in. You don't know what was installed in that model, and the person wants to know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's
Yeah.
again a lot of applications. It's really great that you've done this.
We've,
But Jenny, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
I won't name names, but we've even done HomeKeep for model homes that weren't even adding softener salt to their softeners because they were model homes and nobody was, responsible for doing
Was
it.
thinking
Yeah.
that makes sense. Sorry, Jenny, go ahead.
No, I guess my last, as I understood after our conversation today, should I reach out to you guys to understand how we're working next, or I just like share the app with my clients? What are the next steps?
I would say from the pro standpoint, for you being able to offer it to your clients, that's what we are working on with this team here at Pro to see how we can basically add it in. And Jenya, that's a great question because you're a new member. So we've been talking about member benefits. This would be something that we are looking to onboard as, and what's the best manner to do that for our members to have a benefit for this direct to their consumer.
Gotcha.
For you to try it out, like you said, going to their website to try it out as you are the consumer, making the recommendation to your Airbnb friends for them to try it out as a consumer.
Mhm.
Do you guys offer a promo code for the time being if anybody that watches this webinar or Jenya wants to try it out from the consumer angle that they can go on and kind of test drive for a little while?
Yeah, I'll say 2 things about that. One is absolutely, if you want to test drive it and try the app out, Laura can provide a kind of a coupon code to just, you probably still have to put a credit card in, but then we'll just, provide a
That's
coupon
fine.
being free. The other thing just to keep in mind is, there is the digital version of HomeKeep where it's organizing your home information. If you wanted to catalog stuff yourself, if you want to, see the home maintenance program yourself for you to do on your own, that is offered anywhere. Anybody can get that. The full
Okay.
service version is only offered in certain markets where we have staff. And again, what we've been talking about a lot is you guys being able to offer and provide the full service. So when you go to download it off the website, you're not going to see stuff about appointments and setting up, people to do it for you. That's the only important caveat.
Okay. Gotcha.
And it looks like there's one more chat. So I'm just gonna, looks like Trish is jumping off. Thank you, Trish, for joining. And I think that's everything. Everyone,
Awesome.
yes?
Well,
All
very
right.
good.
Well, thank you to all our guests today. Thank you all, Aaron and the team at HomeKeep for hosting us today. And that sounds like we have a lot to talk about. So I'm sure we'll be following up and we'll get this webinar out to the masses of our organization as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for setting it all up and for all of you guys that joined. Really great to meet you and looking forward to the next steps.
All right. Thank you. Everyone have a great day.
Thank you all, you too.
Bye.